Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Allie, and today I have a 3 books by, and today it's CJ Tudor. So when I first started this series, I thought it would be a really good way for me to explore different new authors. But as I have went, I found that reading 3 books from the same author back to back to back would sometimes burn me out or make me maybe not appreciate the second and third book as much as the first one. But then sometimes I'm shocked and I read a book and I don't like it at all, and then I read the next one and I really do like it. So it might be a good thing at the same time to get me to read that author again. But I think overall that commitment is there whenever I read a book from an author and I'm like, okay, this is an author that I want to read more from. So I've kind of scattered them throughout my year now, and hope to read the 3 books within the year to be able to give you guys my thoughts on them. But overall, I think what I want this series to do is to overall give you guys my opinion on the author, show you the 3 books that I read by that author, which ones I picked out, maybe why I picked those books, what I liked about the books, maybe what I didn't like about the books, the ratings on each of them. So you can see like if it is an author you're a huge fan of, maybe see like how our ratings differ, or if it's maybe an author that you don't particularly like their writing style, so you avoid their books. Maybe I can sway you to maybe pick up one of them, or maybe even make your mind up on if these books kind of seem like something that you would be interested in. And since my thoughts are all about one author, that author in particular is CJ Tudor, and I didn't know what to expect jumping into a CJ Tudor book, but I'd seen a lot of people mention that if you are a Stephen King fan, you are probably going to like CJ Tudor, and to an extent, I can very well agree with that. So I read The Drift by CJ Tudor March of 2023, so almost, I'm a couple months shy of a year, and I absolutely fell in love with her writing from the get-go. Looking for a wintry read that has snow. I mean, it's a huge drift, so snowy winter scenery, and it's a fast-paced thriller kind of on the edge of your seat and mystery, like wondering what is going on right now. This is probably going to be a really good book for you. This book follows 3 different points of view, and I have to say, I think if I could maybe dock any points from this book at all, is just that it's very overwhelming at first. I particularly fell in love with it as I went and really liked the way that she went about it. But there's a lot of characters and a lot of things that you kind of have to pick up as you go. But with each chapter, it jumps back to a different point of view. So we start with Hannah, who wakes up and she's on a train. We slowly learn her story about why she's on this train, all the people that's on this train, but she is woken up because she was knocked out when the train crashed. So she is now on this crashed train trying to figure out how to get off this train and get help with a bunch of people who are kind of like shady, kind of different, and they're trying to literally just help people who are injured and are hurt. There's a lot of dead people. Awful accident scene going on there. We switch to Meg, who has awoken and she is stranded in a cable car that's dangling up in the sky over a huge drop and then snow at the bottom. And in this cable car, she has just complete strangers, and they're all kind of waking up from this delirium sleep, kind of all questioning, were they drugged? How did they get here? What's going on? Who are these people I'm stranded in this cable car with? And then the next chapter goes to Carter, who is at this resort. He is taking care of the resort. He is kind of like just a worker there, and there's people that work on different jobs there. There's a guy that works like on the generator, and there's quite a few people there as well. What I'm trying to say is you have to kind of get used to a lot of people in this story, and you soon find out that all these people are trying to make their way to the resort. And why, you might wonder, is because a virus has broken out across the world, and it has affected a lot of people. And the ones who have caught this virus are now called the Whistlers. There's a lot that goes into this story where I kind of have like this thriller moment, because a lot of the scenes you're kind of on the edge of your seat, and there's people dying, and it's a survival, and you have these horror aspects that are kind of also sci-fi with the virus and Whistlers. And on top of that, you just have a very like a big variety of characters going on here that are all different personalities, and you hate some, you root for others. I just had such a fun time with this book. I felt like she really set up the scenery. She really set up like this tragic world thing that's happening and taking over, all while also painting a very clear picture of what is happening and making these people so desperate they will literally do anything to escape or to make it out. And besides that, all of the spoilers and things that I can't tell you that are just beautifully laid into the story. And I say beautifully because I was just like, wow, like over and over. Like, I just absolutely loved how the story unfolded. Thinking off the top of my head, I do think that there was some predictable moments for me, but there was definitely moments that I was just like, wow, she couldn't have like laid this out better. And that is why I landed at a 5 out of 5 with this one. I really enjoyed it. If you haven't read Drift, you should definitely pick it up.
But now you're gone again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends.
So back in the summer, I read my second CJ Tudor book, and that was The Chalk Man. People say her writing style is a lot like Stephen King. They're really talking about this book. This is a story of kind of like a coming of age thriller. It kind of has like horror elements to it as well, mystery. I feel like she ties in those three very well all together in one book. And this one is just really laid out like a Stephen King novel, of thinking of like It, or stories similar to that, where we have the group of kids when they're younger and kind of what they're going to and how that mystery comes to be, what happens, and then now that they're older, it kind of is being like solved, or it's being resolved, that type of ordeal. When they're kids, it takes place in the 80s. I really liked the vibes of it. I felt like the writing style was really on point. Eddie and his friends spend their time biking and looking for trouble to get into, as young kids do. The Chalkmen are their secret code of kind of telling each other what to do. These are chalk stick figures that they draw in front of each other's homes to tell them like, hey, we're going to be at the park today, or hey, we're going to be over here today, or we're going to do this or that. It's their secret code, their messages to each other before there was texting and or just being able to catch them on the phone and that type of ordeal. But they're codes because only this small group of friends understand what each stick figure means. But then a mysterious chalk man leads them right to a dismembered body, and nothing is ever the same. In 2016, Eddie is coming back to his hometown. He thinks his past is behind him, but he gets a letter in the mail with a very familiar stick figure. He thinks it's a prank, but finds out that his other friends are now receiving them as well, and one of them turns up dead. That's when these now grown group of kids realize they're going to have to solve this mystery to be able to save their lives. It very much is a thriller. You're kind of just like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? I feel like for the most part, she did kind of leave me in the dark with a lot of things, but at the same time, not as much as The Drift. I feel like I enjoyed my time with The Drift a lot more than I did with this one, although I still really liked this one, enjoyed it a lot. This one also just had very gruesome moments that I would definitely check trigger warnings here for, and really left me bothered and scarred in a way that I could have really done without in this story. And I think that just comes down to anything that's pretty terrible that happens to a child, and an explicit detail I didn't really vibe with as much, but I still really enjoyed this read. I liked the ride of it, and I did give it 4 stars. It was a good time. It was a good time overall. I feel like it definitely had more horror elements than The Drift, and definitely a different vibe. So from that, and then going into The Other People, I definitely was wondering which direction it was going to go. I don't think about you, but it's all sweet. Done again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends. I don't miss seeing them, miss you on my phone screen. Now I save the tissues that you bought me from. First of all, I would like to apologize for the horrific lighting. I've been filming all afternoon, and I thought, why not film another one? Because I recently finished The Other People by CJ Tudor for Winterween. So I'm gonna take this back to my library, but I wanted to fill you guys in on my final CJ Tudor read. I landed at a 4. I really enjoyed this one. Question, why are you called The Other People? Answer, we are people just like you. People to whom terrible things have happened. We found solace not in forgiveness or forgetting, but in helping each other find justice. Driving home one night, stuck behind a rusty old car, Gabe sees a little girl's face appear in its rear window. She mouths one word, Daddy. It's his 5-year-old daughter, Izzy. He never sees her again. 3 years later, Gabe spends his days and nights traveling up and down the highway searching for his daughter, refusing to give up hope, even though most people believe she's dead. When the car Gabe saw that night is found abandoned in a lake with a body inside, Gabe must confront not just the day Izzy disappeared, but painful events from his past now dredged to the surface. There is a lot more that goes into this story, but I really love the aspects of this as far as a thriller and mystery book goes. I feel like it definitely is more mystery than thriller, but what I really enjoyed about this was the whole like dark web concept and the other people being people on the dark web that are going to do something bad for you in the sense of justice. But it also comes with the concept and consequence, I would say, of having to also then do a favor for somebody else. Like, you're tied in now. Like, we're not just going to do this for you. You got to do something for us or for someone else. And it could be the same type of transaction. And it leads us into different lives and terrible, tragic things that have happened to them that have made them so desperate to search for these other people. But also the victims of it that are now trying to live their lives because the other people have done something to them. And it's tragic, it's thrilling, and it was another good read by CJ Tudor. I think overall in this video, I have just confirmed that she is definitely an author on my list that I really enjoy reading and would definitely pick up each of her books as they come out. I love her range of writing too. The Drift was so like survival, but like thrilling and also sci-fi. And then we have The Chalk Man, which is kind of like crime fiction with coming of age and mystery as well, thrilling at times as well. And then this one, I just feel like each one of them has just been some of the same concepts and dynamics as far as like the genres go, but at the same time, so different from each other, and she just really pulls it off with her writing. I really, really enjoy them. You will have to let me know what CJ Tudor books you have picked up. What is your favorite? There are some that I still haven't read, and I know she has a new one coming out this year that is definitely going to be on my radar. Favorite author. Thank you guys so much for watching. If there is an author you would like me to try out, please let me know down below in the comments. I would love to in a future 3 books by. And again, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. I just don't wanna be a missing case. Why can't you play? Keep up with my pace, stay